I'm Chauncey Navarro. This is the Inspired Word. We're doing the overview of chapter 18 that we went over, which the entire book, the entire chapter on this part of the book is focused on the destruction of Babylon. And as the world weeps and mourns over the destruction of this city because of the wealth in this city, because of all that came out of this city that they were able to buy from and sell from, and the gold, the silver, the wheat, the people, the lives, the souls of men. And yet they did not weep over the blood that was shed, the multitudes of people that were killed for the testimony of Jesus Christ, that died because of this city. But they weep over the loss of the wealth of this city. As Jesus said back in the Gospels, you either worship God or you worship money. And as you can see at this point, who's left on the planet, they worship money. Now, in the overview on this, you see the smoke of it rising. To me, it definitely implies, you know, the nuclear cloud, an atomic bomb blowing off here in Babylon. As I've gone over through the chapters over and over a lot on this, that the Bible gives you from Genesis to Revelation a tale of two cities. You start out in the very beginning of Genesis with Jerusalem and Babylon, and Jerusalem becomes the eternal city here, and Babylon becomes eternally destroyed. And so these two women that you see, the harlot who represents Babylon, and the woman, the virgin showing signs of fertility, the virgin birth, Israel, whose Jerusalem comes from Israel, becomes the eternal city, becomes this eternal bride that you see coming down from heaven. And there's a powerful picture that you get throughout here of not just the tale of two cities, but the picture of the people that belong to God and the people that belong to the world, that you see repeated over and over through this book, that you see in Egypt, that you see in Israel, that you see depicted throughout a lot of this. Now, I know a lot of times people, they'll get down on Israel and they say, oh, well, you know, we wouldn't have been so stubborn and stiff-necked, we wouldn't have. But in a sense, Israel, God used them as an example because they reflect the best and the worst in man. They're an exaggeration, as was put by a rabbi at one time in history when he asked why anti-Semitism. And he said that he believed that Israel was an exaggeration of mankind, that you would see the best and the worst in Israel, in the Jews, in God's people. And it makes sense that God would use an exaggeration of mankind, the best and the worst, to overemphasize the points and the pictures that he's trying to give throughout history. You know, it's easy for us to turn around and point the finger and say, you know, well, we wouldn't have done that. Hindsight's divine. But the reality of it is, we've all done that. We all have. We all fall short of the glory of God. We all are human. We all have shortcomings. And we're all dependent on the mercy and the grace of God. And the bottom line is, on the end, it's going to get down to, do we really worship God or do we worship money? And that's what this picture is here in this chapter. That's what this picture is about in this book, The Tale of Two Cities, where Babylon is eternally destroyed and Jerusalem becomes the eternal city. And we'll be coming to the Jerusalem becoming the eternal city in the upcoming chapters here. This overview, I just wanted to touch on a little bit about the overview that you get of the entire Bible. And in a sense, when you look at the connection between Genesis and Revelation, and how all the stories in between connect that same picture, the same overview, the repeat of stories over and over of Messiah and Antichrist, of the tale of two cities, of the tale of two women, of the tale of two brothers that you see throughout this book. It's a repeated picture, and each time each picture gives you a little bit more insight and a little bit more vision to what's going on. And especially in this book that I've been covering, because of the fact that this is the revealing of Jesus Christ. This book, the Revelation, the revealing of Jesus, who he is, who Jesus is to you, who Jesus is to me, and that's what it's all going to come down to in the end on this. My name is Chauncey Navarro. I'll see you back here at Inspired Word when we start chapter 19. I'm excited.